Hello everyone, thanks for joining me here today. I know it's been a while since I have uploaded. So today I have another compilation video, and this time it's targeting the under the sink, whether it's in the bathroom or in your kitchen. So first up, I have these two paper trays that I got at Dollar Tree. And what I'm gonna do is invert one and I'm just gonna put them together. So the one that I am going to be putting upside down will be on top of the one that is right side up. This way I can create sort of a drawer system so that I can place and stack things on top of it and be able to utilize it under my either bathroom sink or my kitchen sink. Next, I am applying hot glue to the perimeter of this bottom tray, so that when I put the top tray on it, it will hold it in place and it will offer more stability as I connect zip ties to put them together. Now in the insert here, you can use also E6000 for a stronger hold. But for me, the hot glue works, but if you prefer a more stronger hold, use E6000. Again, this is just to keep it in place while I try to tie up also to secure it in place with zip ties. So I am just pressing this connection together so that by the time the glue dries, they are connected like this. That's the interior. Now, there are holes already on those trays, not just the decoration holes, which of course you can still use that to put your zip ties through, but there's this hole where a large zip tie can fit. And I purchased my zip ties at Dollar Tree, but you can get them anywhere else. They're available at your local home improvement stores, and you can probably buy them cheaper at those places, but I do buy mine at Dollar Tree. So I just insert through those two holes that are facing each other or aligned to each other, and then I just zip my zip tie. Make sure to tighten the zip ties, and then the excess you can just use the scissors to cut. So I have this scissors that I got at Dollar Tree as well, which is very sharp. I like using this in trimming my cable ties or the zip ties. And here is the other side. I am repeating the same steps. So if you want to add more zip ties to all the other sides or the other ends, then do so. So this is what it looks like after connecting the two. And then I'm going to be using a coordinating or a matching basket that I also got at Dollar Tree. As you can see, they have the die cut style. Same with the paper tray. And this is going to be my drawer. And I'm just going to use the hole here, or where you can use as a handle, as a drawer pull. So for $3, I was able to create like a drawer system. And let me show you how easy it is to maneuver or use. When I originally created this DIY, I demonstrated using this for my craft items or my crafting items, like for example my colored pens and pencils. So anything flat, it would fit. So imagine this in your bathroom under the sink. You can use that to store your makeup palettes or anything flat. So for your kitchen sink, you can also use that to store your gloves as well as your sponges. Now for the top part, I also placed a second basket that is matching the similar size that I used as a drawer, and that's where I place more items on top. And here I was showing that I was organizing my craft paints as well as my other crafting tools on top. So you can place this on top of your counter or your desk, but since I am, like I said, targeting the problem here of under the sink organization, I am going to show you how I'm going to use this under the sink. So this is the cabinet under my bathroom sink. This is my side because there are two sinks. On the left is my husband and this is the right side. So I'm going to be placing my drawer system here. So there, as you can see, I have some lotions that come in smaller or flatter bottles, you know, the shallower or flatter kind. And look how easy it is. And I placed a lot of things there that it can hold. Like I said earlier, even makeup palettes if you prefer. Now, if you want this thing not to slide, use a non-slip plastic shelf liner. Like I'm showing here, the photo insert, and they sell that at Dollar Tree too. You can put that under the top, also the top basket, so that it will not slide off. So there in the top basket, I'm placing all the other things that are taller so that I have enough clearance there. As you can see, I have lotions, I have spray bottles there. So the possibilities are endless. If you want to use this under the kitchen sink, you can use this to organize also your cleaning spray bottles, your cleaning solutions on the top, and at the bottom, maybe store some extra kitchen towels or even, you know, your washing sponges where you use for washing your dishes. You can also store your probably dishwasher pods and also your gloves. The possibilities are endless. Here I'm going to demonstrate that you can stack two of this together, you know, two connections. So for example, the one that I'm showing here, just so it's easier to demonstrate, I am stacking it up. Now you can puncture some holes on the top of the tray that's inverted at the bottom and then tie some zip ties there to connect your top drawer, and also kind of connect them and reinforce with hot glue or E6000. So as you can see, I can connect the two pairs and to create a two drawer system. Now you can cut those feet as well, as you can see that are protruding, but you can use them to your advantage as well for extra support. So here I'm just showing you, if you have a third basket that you can use, the bottom one will have a drawer, the second one will have a drawer, and then there's a top basket there. If you have enough clearance under your sink, that will work. Now you can stack it up this way too. Instead of connecting two with one right side up, you can also stack them the way that you can stack the paper trays normally. Now you can put things that are really small or shallow or flatter below, and this is how you can use also smaller or shallower trays. Now I'm showing here that you can use this on top of your desk to organize your colored paper for your crafting or maybe even your printer paper. But under your sink, this setup would work as well. For the next DIY, I'll be using these two paper towel holders that I also got at Dollar Tree. And I am just going to be using them to support two wire baskets that I also got at Dollar Tree. So when I purchased this, probably 3 years ago, the paper towel holders come in white as well, and I think they still carry them, but the more popular ones and more durable actually are the stainless steel ones. So either style would work. Now I'm just going to be aligning the edge or the one end of this rectangular basket to the end or one side of this paper towel holder. And then as you can see, I'm just using some twist ties there as guide. So I was just trying to experiment it first if it's gonna work. That's why I didn't use zip ties first. So as you can see later on, I will be putting zip ties as opposed to just twist ties. So I have reinforced it with my zip ties. Of course, I only have the large ones. You can use a medium size or a smaller kind of zip ties so that you don't have to have those bulky ends there. When you cut the ends or the excess, then you won't have those bulky connections there. But I don't really mind having them, and I can camouflage it with something else, and I will show that to you later on. As you can see, the top shelf or wire basket, I put it all the way to the top, leaving only probably an inch as my handle, and I demonstrated with some jars that it can hold at the bottom any tall items. So here I'm trying to camouflage the ends of the zip ties with some ribbons, but again, like I said, you can skip this, especially if you're just using this under the sink. Nobody else can really see it except you or your household members. But if you want to use this on top of your counter, you can also camouflage those connections with ribbons or even silk flowers or even raffia or maybe nautical rope. So here I just created a simple bow. So when I created this video, I used this to organize some food staples and I place it on top of a microwave, but you can certainly use it under the sink. Next, I am going to be using again the paper towel holders, but this time the other kind, which is the stainless steel, which I think is more durable than the first type that I showed you. This one, I am just going to be connecting some baskets. So I am just going to be connecting the basket here in between the handles of the paper towel holders. If you notice, for durability, what I've done is that I inserted the handle of each of the paper towel holders through the handle on each side of the basket. And then I'm just using my wire cutter. You can also use sharp scissors to cut the excess zip ties. And to reinforce my connection and also to make sure that nobody gets hurt, because once you cut your zip ties, there's a sharp edge. You can actually use a nail filer as well, or maybe some sandpaper. But what I find that is very effective is using dabs of hot glue, not only just to reinforce the connections, make sure it doesn't unravel, but also to offer some protection so that when you're pulling things or putting things in the basket, you're not going to get hurt because of the sharp edges of the zip ties. You can actually spray paint these zip ties, but like I said, if you're just going to put it underneath your sink, nobody will see it, so it shouldn't be an eyesore. It's going to be hidden. So I'm just reinforcing the top portion as well. As you can see, I'm tying the zip ties in diagonal so that it will lock it in place. Then again, putting some hot glue to cover those sharp edges and also keep the connection more secure. So here, I am putting it all the way up to the top of the paper towel holders, and then that's where I tie my zip ties, 2 on each side. As you can see, it really anchors it well. And then cutting the excess zip ties again. And then I'm going to apply again some hot glue to ensure that I reinforce the connections as well as cover those sharp edges to prevent cuts. Now you can leave this as is. This is done as is, especially if you have narrower or tighter space under your sink. But I am also adding some kind of wings to the bottom side so that I can have more items to put there. So I decided to add this similar style but different size of baskets. So these are all from Dollar Tree, all these items here. And I'm just going to show you what I did to connect them. I'm using the holes of the basket to connect them to the handle of the paper towel holders. So I have two baskets added, one on each side, and this is the rectangular. It's deeper than the ones that I placed earlier, and it's also longer and but a little narrower to fit in the space. As you can see here, it'll just fit perfectly in place under the sink in my kitchen. And look at the pipes here. It's the perfect place to put it here. It's not obstructing, or the pipes are not going to hamper. And I'm just showing you here another idea. This is another basket from Dollar Tree. You can use this for bigger items. Now, let me show you how I organize this system here that I just created. This is where I place a smaller basket that you can also get at Dollar Tree. That's where I place some brushes on the top and just to corral things. But you don't have to put another basket, but I just have extra. So you can see there, I have in a plastic container there some of my dishwasher pods, and then some more cleaning tools or items there. And here is the magic eraser that you can also get at Dollar Tree. So I place it there. Now these are my kitchen gloves when I'm washing dishes, so I put it on top. And then I have the trash bags there at the bottom so that it can be used as a dispenser style. And then on the sides I have the cleanser, the Easy Off that I use for oven cleaning, also some pet powders and other cleaning materials. I placed all the tall and big or bulkier items in that big basket there. And this is a perfect organization, like I said, under the sink. So a bonus tip for you, if you have this kind of like a magazine holder or rack, I got this at Daiso for $1.50, and I just used two command hooks to hang it, and this is where I place my plastic bags or the shopping bags. I'll have another video, by the way, because this cabinet has seen better days. As you can see, there are water stains there, and it's been decolorized already, so we're gonna repaint it. We just finished repainting our cabinet, so I'm gonna be showing you also that video in my upcoming upload. But for now, look at what it looks like. It's so organized. I just want to show you the before, and look at how messy. I even used the Dollar Tree bins as well, but they weren't working well, and this is the after. Using the same method of utilizing the paper towel holders, I'm going to be using the bigger baskets this time. So if you have a lot of items to store, this will be perfect because this will give you more storage space. Now, I would suggest instead of using just two paper towel holders like I'm going to show you in this video, you would probably be better off using 4 of them so that you can have a better or a more stable contraption. Now, putting it in its horizontal side, you can do away with just 2 paper towel holders, but when I was assembling this, I decided to use the longer side and then cut the center to put in a notch so that my paper towel holder handles will be flush against the basket. But like I said, for an extra couple of dollars, you can use 2 more paper towel holders, so you can just put them or align them towards the end, and then towards the front. That way it will be more balanced. So I'm ending this section here. On the original video, I attached more skinny baskets onto the side, but I think for under the sink, which doesn't have much space, you can leave it as is. But I am going to be linking the original video so that you can see how I expanded this with more baskets. For the next one, I'll be showing you how I am going to be using this wire risers or shelf risers that I got also at Dollar Tree. So I am just going to connect 2 together, one right side up and the other one upside down. And for the purpose of visibility for our vision impaired viewers, I'm using a contrasting color here instead of using the standard white zip ties. So I'm using black for better visibility. And then I'm just going to be connecting it in this section. So the bottom part close to where the foot is and will be connected to the top part of the other one, like so. So I'm just repeating it on all four corners, and then I'll be cutting the excess. Now, after I connect them, I'm going to be using it kind of like another organizer under the sink, and I'm placing this wire basket so that I can just pull it in and out. So for $3, you can leave it as is, and then you can just organize the bigger or taller items on the top and then the smaller items at the bottom, or the shorter items, like so. Now I want to revamp this and make it really useful. So I'm creating a caddy. So I'm connecting two shower caddies, one on each side. So I'm using another contrasting color of zip ties, this time red, so that you can see where I'm putting it, because if I use black, you won't be able to see it because I used black already on the two connections. And here I'm just connecting with this red zip ties and then cutting the excess. So you could see I am just putting those two caddies, one on each end or opposite side, like so. And here it is after I connected the other side as well. Now I'm just using some dowel rods. I got this at Walmart, but they do sell dowel rods also at Dollar Tree. But you can also use the dowels or wooden handle from a toilet plunger that they sell at Dollar Tree. And actually that's even thicker and probably more durable. So in order to fit my rods, I just kind of tighten the top of each of the shower caddies, and then to reinforce so that it doesn't slide down on each side, I added two zip ties. And then I added another one on each side to reinforce my connection. Here I just showed white because my backdrop is black, but hopefully you can see it here since the wood is kind of natural color and not white, so you could still see the zip ties here. So this is a closer inspection where I positioned the zip ties. So I just doubled up the dowel rods because I want it to be sturdier or stronger. So this is the caddy that you can use under the sink, and I like the fact that you can carry it, you can lift it up, and here's what it looks like when you are using it with two baskets, one at the bottom and one on top. And here's how it's set up under the sink. Next, for deeper cabinets under the sink, I am going to be connecting these two shelf risers together this way. So I'm just going to make it longer so that if you have a deep cabinet, you can put this and then you can place items on top. And I'm just going to show you a trick on how you can do that without hurting your back to pull things out of it. So, but first, connect the two together like so. I'm using here another contrasting zip ties. Again, I'm just showing this for demonstration purposes so you can see where I do the connections, and also for the benefit of our vision impaired viewers. So double knotting them, if you're winding them twice, or if you can pull off 3 winding, it'll be stronger actually. This is a smaller zip tie that they sell at Dollar Tree, but it will do the job. And then you can also reinforce the connection by applying some hot glue. So I am just going to be cutting the excess zip ties to make for a cleaner connection. Again, I could have probably made, instead of just double knots, I could have done 3. So this is what it looks like. Now it should look great already or will function well, but for reinforcement, if I want to put something on top so that it doesn't wobble, I'm gonna go ahead and use this box, this narrow or flat box, and then just cover it with contact paper so I can hot glue it there. So this one here has been covered with the contact paper from the Dollar Tree, and then this will offer a more solid top. So this is good for organizing on top of your table, on cabinets or countertop, but of course we're tackling the under the sink organization in this video. So what I'm doing here is to maximize the space. I have connected 2 more in the same manner, and then I'm gonna stack them up together and then tie them all up together like so. I know it's easier to show it to you than to explain, but this is how I'm gonna be connecting them together so that they will be taller. And to make it more secure, as you could see on this one here, I'm knotting it in a diagonal way, and then another one on a diagonal on the opposite side, creating an X. So I am going to do that also on the other connections on the opposite sides. This way it will not slide down. And again, the crisscross pattern will give it a better hold, but if you dab some glue there, either E6000 or hot glue, it will also prevent it from sliding down, especially if you put something heavy on the top. At this point, if you are liking this video so far, this collection, or this types of projects, please let me know in the comment section down below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do subscribe. And don't forget to click the notification bell icon so that you will get notified whenever I upload new videos. So like I said, you can reinforce these connections so that they won't slide down with hot glue, and also any commercial type or grade glue like this one here, an E6000, for a better, stronger hold. Now I'm just trimming the excess zip ties, and here's what it looks like after I place it. It's just the right size for under my sink. So what I've done with the baskets here, I'm connecting them together. As you can see, I have these 2 baskets so that if I pull them, I don't have to break my back. I can pull them together if I need something from the back, because they're connected with zip tie at the center like so. Then I can pull it out and take out what I need. It makes it easier to grab the items that I need. So here I'm showing you at the bottom, I have more baskets, connected them with zip ties again. So this is a dipper one for the bottom. This is from Dollar Tree as well. And this is from Dollar Tree as well, because the second level here, or the middle part, is a little shallower, so I don't have enough headroom, so that one fits better. Now I'm just showing you here some other containers that I have that I could use. This is from Daiso with a flip top. And then at the back is a shoe organizer or container from Dollar Tree. So I can put other items there like alcohol, cleaning swabs. So this is under the sink in my bathroom. So I place some lotions there, acetone, and you can put shampoo there, any of your items or supplies. And for this other one, I'm placing my mask, but you can put anything there as well, any of your supplies. I'm just showing you that this one can hold a lot. Make sure that you again reinforce your connection with glue. I love this. This is very, very functional, and you can put a lot of things. It can hold a lot of things. Look at this. Even my tubes there, my lotion tubes, and then brushes. And the possibilities are endless. Anything that you can fit inside, if you have enough headroom for them, do so. Now, this is the before. This is what it looks like again after, but I'm gonna trim this so that you can also see if you do not have enough space for 4 pieces, then you can just use one on top of each other. So for smaller, tighter, under the sink space, you can just use, so just double them up, tie them this way. So I'm just showing you that this is expandable. You can reduce, you can add, depending on the space or amount of space you are working with that you need to address your organization. So again, I'm going to be tying up with this red zip ties here on this end, and then I will reinforce with hot glue or E6000 again so that it will not slide down, the one on the top. And then again, for tighter spaces, this would work well as well. So just use single bins or baskets at the bottom, and then that will just work. Now for this one, I'm just going to show you how I organize my section. Like I said, I'm on the right side of our double sink. So this was a mess, and I'm just removing some of the items, and because of my bad back I ended up just tossing things there using a basket or a bin that I got at Walmart, and there are some that are in Ziplocs, hoping that it'll be easier to reach out for them. Sometimes I use a grabber, and they sell them at Dollar Tree as well, but it's really hard. Look at me struggling underneath there. That's why it's also important to really figure out how the organization would work for you, for your needs. So for me, because of my age, I do have a bad back, and as much as possible, I hate bending. So only when I was cleaning this up did I bend. So this is what it looks like. I kind of want to check out how I stack things up together. So I'm just showing you some of the baskets from Dollar Tree and some bins. And that riser there, the green one, is from the 99 cents only store. So they have what you call a locker room riser, and it's very durable. So that's what I use there. So before you even organize anything, just make sure that the baskets or the locations are where they should be and more convenient for you. So like I said, because of my bad back, I try to organize my space in a way that it's not going to be hard for me. So I'm just giving you some pointers here, some extra bonus tips here. And that one at the bottom, that's from Ross. I think I purchased that for $12 years ago. And it's made of wire mesh, and it's a drawer system. And if you do not have the budget, because I know $12 sometimes is too expensive, especially if you like shopping at Dollar Tree like me. So you can do the other DIYs that I did in the beginning, where you can create your own drawer system. So here's another iteration. I use this Daiso basket with a handle. This one is $1.50. Daiso is a Japan dollar store. They have a lot of them here in California. And if you don't have Daiso, then you can find some similar bins from either Walmart or Dollar Tree. This one is from, I think, Walmart from years ago. I love this basket because it's so sturdy. And like I said, that riser there, it sits perfectly on top of that locker riser from the 99 cents only store. This one also is from Daiso, another container that I can use so that I can maneuver better. Now those two pink ones are the book bins or notebook bins from the Dollar Tree. You can find them at the school supply section, and then below the curve of that pipe, I put in the one that I got at Daiso for $1.50. That is a magazine or a book holder as well, but you can use that for that purpose as well. As you can see here, I'm using some of the Dollar Tree skinny baskets to organize, and then other types of those white baskets that I'll be using to put in this bin here. This bin is from the 99 cents only store. I like that it's clear and it has a locking top. Now this is where I put my supplies. So as much as possible, I do not like pulling out things and then opening. So that's why sometimes I don't like the locking lid. But because this is for our supplies, then chances are I'm probably going to reach out for this whenever I'm replenishing our supplies. So that's okay. So then I put 2 more baskets on top from Dollar Tree. And this is where I'm organizing also my face mask, as well as other items that I need for my skincare or even my hair dyes, and also extra toothpaste and also extra cotton swabs, as well as ear cotton swabs and those cotton balls. Yeah. So this is how I arrange things. I don't mind mixing and matching colors, to be honest, like I said, because it's under the sink. Nobody's gonna really see them except me. I'm the one using this sink. Or if my daughter is gonna get some supplies there, that's fine. And it's easier to just describe it too. I will just say, okay, under my sink, there's a pink container there. Go find my creamer there. So just give it to me or something, or get some more. So sometimes it's easier to kind of describe if you want people to navigate. Yep. So these are all the items. I suggest purging your items and only display the ones that you usually or would use on a daily basis in the bin closest to the door, like this one, my roll-on, even my healing for my ankle or my sole, because sometimes it dries up. And then I do have my facial cleansers, and again, like I said, the supplies. And then on the top I can just pull that basket, and this is when after I purge the items, and I'm just throwing them away and I'm putting them in the garbage. Now for the last DIY here, I'm gonna be utilizing another popular stackable item that they sell at Dollar Tree. Now, some people, even myself, do not really like this stackable bin, because the problem with this is that when you put something on top, you can barely use the one at the bottom. Okay, especially for taller items. So this one can only fit probably with the clearance of 2.5 inches tall comfortably, so that you can also fit your hand. So like for example, this 2-ounce bottle of Mod Podge, or even your paint bottles. So I'm just using this for demonstration purposes on how you can use only the smaller bottles, but it's also still a struggle to reach for things. So I'm just gonna show you a way to utilize this with a simple hack. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is also put this together so that I will have more headroom or clearance to put things, and then I can stack them all up. So instead of putting it in the usual or expected way, like so, like stacking them one on top of each other, what I'm gonna do is I am going to invert one again and then connect them. So in order to do that, I'm just gonna fold this, the one that flips out, to hold the one on top. I'm gonna make sure that they're closed, and then I'm gonna stack them up this way. And then I'm just gonna connect them and use them as my stackable bin organizer under the sink. I like that there's more headroom or space for my big hands, as well as for taller bottles. So I'll just show you for demonstration purposes. Again, I'm gonna show you taller bottles here, like this one here. See these lotion tubes here, they're tall, as you can see, compared to the size of those 2 bottles that I showed earlier. See, you can even stack those 2 on top of each other. That's how tall those items are that I'm gonna put underneath. But look, they now fit with enough headroom or clearance to put them. So I'm going to show you how to connect them or secure them together, because this way, without putting anything to hold them together, would be a disaster if, for example, you reach out for something and then bam, it's not balanced, or it's gonna just unravel or collapse on you. So my suggestion is to do some stackables. Okay, again, try to figure out also how much space do you have underneath your sink. So I'm trying to see if I can use it this way. I still have some smaller bottles that can fit in the middle, and then at the bottom, so that I can save my back and I don't bend too much, I will have more space there for taller ones that I can grab from the tip. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go ahead and then put them together. So I'm just showing you different iterations, and if you want the shallower part, but again, if you're like me with the bad back, you probably wouldn't want this because it's going to be hard to reach for the shallower or smaller items. But this is another version or iteration. So I'm just going to show you, I'm just going to put the wider one or the bigger space at the very bottom. So to connect the two, I'm going to show you where I am going to puncture some holes. So you can see there are already marks with holes, which is perfect, right? So you can use either a heating tool or a cutting knife or a heat knife. I have one and I'll show you how to use it. But you can also use the tip of your hot glue gun. So actually, all throughout this video, except for the first puncture that I showed with the hot knife, I am going to be using the tip of the hot glue. So this is the hot knife. This is easier, but of course, make sure that you're working in a well-ventilated space. And of course, as a precaution, please make sure that you turn off these tools after you use them so that there will be no concerns for fire, okay? Because these are hot, they can burn things, and if you leave them unattended and they're still plugged in, it can cause fire. So here, look at the heat tool, and I'm just puncturing that hole that I showed you, those holes. So of course, because it's small, I'm just gonna try to puncture them several times to make them wider. Same size as the mark themselves, okay? See how hot that is? It burned, and look, it left a black residue. It melted the plastic. There. And then I am going to show you also using the tip of my hot glue gun. And actually, I prefer this throughout the video because look, it's safer, no smell or odor coming out from the burning plastic for some reason. And look, it already has the size that I need, right? So it's up to you. If you have a heat knife or a hot knife, use the hot knife. And then if you do not have a hot knife and you're a crafter and you have a hot glue gun, use your hot glue gun. Still, if you don't have those tools, you can use anything sharp, maybe a knife or a screwdriver. Just puncture some holes. Maybe you can use a drill to puncture your holes. But here, I'm just using what crafters use. Every crafter should have a glue gun, right? So this one should work. See? Not a whole lot of effort to melt that. So with those connections, so I did 2 in each corner, as you could see, and then that's where I'm going to tie up my zip ties to connect the two. So again, one is right side up and the other one is upside down. I'm going to align them, and then I am going to be using my zip ties to connect them together. This one is not a large one. I'm just using the medium size or the regular size zip ties. And again, they sell them at Dollar Tree. I'm just showing you where I connected things, and then just make sure that I put in the knot like so. And then I will repeat them on all corners to make sure that they're secured. Now, if you want to dab some glue, especially E6000 or hot glue, to reinforce your connection, fine, do so. But I think with the zip ties on all four corners, that'll be just right. And I still use this contraption or this organizer under the sink. So I'm just gonna go ahead and trim off the excess zip ties. And then voila, a sturdy, connected, stackable bins with more room. And here at the center, I'm just showing here, you can also puncture holes and connect them, maybe a couple of holes on each one on the top or on each corner, but I'm just using hot glue here just for the interest of time, but you can also connect them with zip ties. And then you can do double, or you can stack them up this way. Like I said, these are the different versions. But I ended up with this so that I can keep the lower or the middle portion with some lower or smaller containers, and then on the top are the taller ones, and then at the bottom are the tubes that I showed you earlier. So the one on the top would be the tall ones. So if you want to use the tall bottles of shampoo or conditioner or moisturizing lotion, you can put them there, and look, there's enough clearance, it's not blocking the pipes. I love this one. I mean, all of the videos that or DIYs that I've shown you, whatever size of your under the sink, this one would work well. So under the kitchen sink also. But let me share with you another idea. This can be good for pet grooming, changing station, or even for diapers for your baby. So whether you have a fur baby or a human baby, you can use this to organize the diapers and also the wipes. So as you can see here, these are the items that I use for my fur baby. I do have a dog shampoo here, that's his toy, and those are the wipes on the top. In the middle section are some of the pee-pee pads, and then at the bottom I can use some of his grooming items there to hold them. And nowadays he's wearing diapers because he's already 15 years old and he has incontinence and he stays with us. So I could use also the bottom part to put in more supplies there. So I just want to make sure that I show you this also, and then you can keep it underneath your bathroom sink to organize. So I hope you enjoyed this video, everyone, and I was able to give you some ideas on how to organize under the sink, whether it's under the sink of your bathroom or under the kitchen sink. And again, if you have any questions, concerns, or comments, please leave them in the comments section down below. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you again on my next video. Take care, everyone, and God bless. Bye-bye!